as South Africans, or as South Africa, we've been going through the past few weeks. And as far as that Trump issue is concerned, the rainbow, all the colors of the rainbow came out in full force and say what? And we came out in numbers against all the voices of Afriforum and the supporters of Afriforum. Yo, guys, I am so proud to be South African. This reminded me of the spirit of the World Cup. And, we are still showing that when it matters the most, whether it's good times or bad times, we do come together. Just look at the person that they say they are being ill-treated in South Africa. Look at it. Does she look like she's having stress in this country? And the song that is playing there that I had to mute, you can only guess, is Nkalakata by Mandos. Guys, come on, man. Come on. We are the greatest country. Let nobody tell us otherwise. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be sharing a few clips of white South Africans actually crushing Afriforum. And I was so proud. And later on, I'm going to read the screenshots from the ex-post of different South Africans across all races that tried to take a few from all the South African races. So, but what I'm saying is, no. And now let's enter into the video clips that I was talking to you about, that I'm going to share. And listen to these guys very carefully. These guys are South Africans. These guys love South Africa, and these guys have got no stress in South Africa whatsoever. And I loved it, the screenshots that I'm going to read at a later stage. Somebody even said, I am cancelling my membership I'm cancelling my membership of Afriforum, just like that. And believe me, the person is white. And it's not a faceless account. It's not somebody trying to make themselves white, because though I read more posts from his account, that person is white. Please, that person is white. So I like it when South Africans come together for the greater good of this country. We shall survive it all as long as we are together. You see, there is no crime in correcting the sins of the past for all to live harmoniously. And we must never allow anybody to twist us and try to trick us into something that they desire to see, which disadvantages many people in South Africa.
We all knew that this was what this organization was about all along, right? In case you didn't know, Afriforum, who considers themselves a civil rights organization, is currently taking a case to court in order to fight for their ability to fly and display the apartheid flag without it being considered hate speech. Because currently, under South African law, you are not allowed to fly the old South African flag, the apartheid flag, because it is hate speech. It's a form of hate speech. Flying the flag was declared hate speech in 2019. And it was ruled that the flag can only be used for artistic, academic, and journalistic reasons. This was after the Nelson Mandela Foundation took Afriforum to court for the group's members flying the flag during a protest in October of 2017. This was the reasoning for why flying the flag was declared hate speech. To the majority of South Africans, and undoubtedly to the majority of black South Africans, a gratuitous display of the old flag has as its dominant meaning an endorsement of the system of apartheid. Apartheid discriminated against black people purely on the basis of their race or color of their skin. This is a prohibited ground for discrimination under the Equality Act. He continued saying that people who display the apartheid flag deliberately chose a symbol of oppression and they intend to incite and awaken feelings of white supremacy against black people. However, Afriforum disagrees with this ruling and they think the court has erred in its finding that the gratuitous display of the old flag amounts to hate speech, and the case will be heard by the Supreme Court of Appeal next week. So, Afriforum and its members want to be able to proudly fly a flag that represents the decades of systematic oppression of black people in this country. Like, of all the things that Afriforum could be doing with their time, money, and resources as an organization, of all the projects that they could choose to focus their attention on, this is what they feel is the most important thing that requires their attention right now. This is the thing that they want to fight for. They feel so strongly about this that they want to take it to court. And then they want to try to tell us that, no, they're not a racist organization. No, not at all. I'm not buying it.
And that is an odd clip that talks to what is happening today. And I brought it here so that I can give a bit of a background of Afriforum's actions. And I am so happy because this is the consequences that they did not foresee. If there's anything that Afriforum has achieved by doing what they did, like trying to get the US to do whatever they're doing, it has brought South Africans together. It has. Forget the minority of the supporters of Afriforum. We see them, we know them. Even I saw a lot of them on X. They cannot be more powerful than the good voices that are for South Africa. So I shared that too, like, you know what? Afriforum has been there. Even Julius Malema has been saying it for so many years that, you know what, Afriforum is an Afrikaner lobby group that seeks to maintain white supremacy in South Africa. And somebody like me who was not into politics much then. And, you know, I say thank you to the existence of MK because I became interested in politics after the existence of MK. So now I realized, like, you know what, I don't agree with Julius Malema in many things, but he has been on this white supremacy thing for the longest time. He has been the loudest. And now what Afriforum did, even if we had thoughts like, no, that is just a political talk, none of that is existing. I'm one of those people, I'm like, no, there isn't something like that. It's just a political talk so that people can get votes. He schooled me. Afriforum allowed me to graduate. Now I know. Anyway, guys, I must not waste more of your time. I would like to listen to more clips that are talking about the recent happenings in South Africa that involve the US, Trump, Elon Musk, President Cyril Ramaphosa, South Africa, Afriforum, Democratic Alliance, ANC, and all the other political parties that are involved in South Africa. Please let us watch, and I'll be back with more commentary.
I was just having a look at Donald Trump's statement and saying, you know, just leave a couple of things out of it. South Africa is confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. A massive human rights violation at a minimum is happening for all to see. And if he was referring to poor black people instead of landed white people, then that would be more true, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be more true that certain classes of people, i.e. poor black people, are being treated very badly in this country and have been for a very, very long time? And it does amount to a human rights violation for poor black people to be so appallingly treated, first by successive forms of apartheid, and then by the ANC government once it lost its way under Jacob Zuma. But that's not what Afriforum cares about. That's not what Donald Trump cares about.
So this is the first time I'll be speaking on this app now. It relates to Donald Trump's utterances directed at South Africa. I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing the Trump tweets, and a lot of young people on this app has been joking about it. This is actually a serious matter. Donald Trump is undermining us as a country, he's undermining our democratic processes. And then you also have Afriforum on the one hand, entertained by Trump's tweets, and sort of it's like a confidence booster for them because, you know, they're always looking out for the white minorities' interests. And personally, I feel like Afriforum should be dealt with. They are undermining us also as a country. Parliament passes laws, Parliament passes acts democratically. If an act or a law is unconstitutional, they should approach the courts. They shouldn't be entertaining Trump.
It's a hot day in South Africa, and Donald Trump has just come on air to say that he has seen the terrible things going on in South Africa. I live here, and I haven't really seen the terrible things he speaks about. I'm continually amazed at the disinformation that this man sends. I'm amazed that anyone would believe him. We in South Africa are laughing, we honestly are. But what worries me most is that you Americans seem to believe him. Even statements about your own country, you believe that he's doing the best thing. I feel very sad for you and very down. I hope you can get this man out one way or the other. Goodbye.
Hey, lovely people, and particularly a quick word to my American friends who might be tempted to believe what Donald Trump is saying about South Africa, my home country, where I happen to be right now. Him and Elon Musk are racist twats who have no idea what they're talking about, because what they're doing is taking the word of a fringe racist group called Afriforum and other disaffected whites, disgruntled by the end of apartheid, feeling hard done by, and much like the Israelis, victimizing themselves when they are not victims at all, bitching about how, you know, land redistribution is racist against whites. These are such ignorant provocateurs, and it's going to backfire on them. South Africans' majority, the black majority, and it's a multiracial, multi-tribal society now, only own a tiny proportion of the land versus the size of their population. And while white South Africans make up 7% of the population, more or less, they own about 70% of the decent land. And so the redistribution of land is to address past inequities, and the vast majority of South Africans agree and understand why that's happening and that it's a good thing. It's also under a very strict mechanism. Now, not everyone agrees, of course, with the mechanism, but the principle is what racists like Musk and Trump are railing against here on behalf of a bunch of arse who equate equality with oppression, because for so many years, decades and decades of the apartheid era, they were the oppressor. And as we know, whenever the oppressor looks at something like equality, it suddenly becomes oppression of him. So idiots from Afriforum, you probably know nothing about them, but this is a bunch of, you know, the equivalent of your kind of Proud Boys hanging on to some past that never actually existed, and a past in which the vast majority of people in this country were oppressed, suppressed, and treated much like, fortunately not quite as badly as the Israelis treat the Palestinians. So this whole railing against South Africa, I'm going to add one more point. South Africans, on the whole, all of us, white, black, Indian, colored, which is not a term, there is a specific term for those of you who might get offended by that, a specific racial group. We are very, very resilient people. As a country, we have gone through a great deal, both in terms of the early part and then the transition from the apartheid era to genuine multicultural democracy. And whatever Trump throws at us, we can handle. We can handle it because we've been through far, far worse in our history. And my hope is that South Africans all turn around with one voice and tell Trump to fuck off with his sanctions and his fucking withdrawal of aid and his tariffs and all of this stuff, because we can live through it. What I'm not sure about is whether Americans can, because for the most part, all the stuff that Vivek Ramaswamy said recently about Americans being soft, not prepared to put in the hard graft, and all this stuff, I tell you, for the experience of most foreigners is true. And it's not true of every American I know. Some of them are the most hardworking, wonderful people in the world. But as a general principle, South Africans are far more resilient and able to withstand this kind of bullshit authoritarian pressure than any American population. So to my fellow South Africans, let's stick this out. Let's stick up the middle finger to Trump and particularly to Elon Musk, because we know from his background that he left South Africa in the apartheid era and retains the racist bullshit that's motivating these people like Cyril. And now that I'm in South Africa, I'm seeing their awesome, ridiculous tweets. Fuck guys as well. They're the past. Most of us are the future, and it's a beautiful future.
Yo, this one made me laugh. Now that we have watched those clips, and whatever your views are, kindly share them in the comment section. So somebody shared this video clip, and I remember this some few years ago. This guy was out there saying, you know what, I want to take my white people to America because they're complaining of the ill treatment in South Africa. Hapna. Yo, the way that thing backfired. So when I saw it, I'm like, no, I'm taking this just to go and remind the people that support my channel that you remember we were once here. You know, they have been taking advantage of the gullibility of the American citizens, their presidents, and what, especially Donald Trump. Guys, So before I read all the tweets at the end, just a reminder, please do enjoy this video.
I'm in the process of sponsoring a family that is fleeing South Africa due to the white genocide. I am not going to let a white group of people suffer and not help them because I've been bullied into not giving a shit. That ain't me. Wrong dude. Don't care. These people want to be Americans. They don't want to be South Africans anymore because that country was given over the minute Mandela was let out of prison. They're going to live in my house, and I'm going to fucking feed them and take care of them.
Suffice to say that I got involved in the abuse of the minority white race in South Africa a couple of years ago. Got heavily involved. Ultimately ended up sponsoring a family of 4 and help facilitate them from Africa. And obviously it turned out bad. They did play me, and they admit, in fact, that was one of the things they said was they're bragging about how they played me like a sport game. I spent over $30,000 in that 11 months in money and fed and clothed them. So I might be stupid enough to have fallen for that because I thought with my heart instead of my head. You know what? They cost me a lot of money when they were here, suck and parasite and use people, and then when they're done, they just fucking, go on to the next fucking victim. When they talk to me, it's like, hey, we're a good family, we own a business, and we're hardworking people, and when we get to America, the way we'll pay the rent will be we'll work for you guys, all right. If anything, we had to work 10 times as hard just to fucking take care of these people. I mean, in 11 months, I got my grass cut 3 times. One time ended up being in a huge argument. Everything fucking free. Lay around, watch TV, and watch fucking movies for 11 months and fucking chain smoke cigarettes and don't do a goddamn...
If I tell you how satisfying that is, I can never say it enough. I cannot wait for this to happen to Trump as well. So Sharon Singh posted, white South Africans need to speak out more to debunk the Cliff Central, Elon Musk, Rob Hessoff, and Trumpists. It is great that many can see the repercussions of DA and Afriforum's racist tantrums using their friends in the US. Yeah, guys, I am so happy about this. I really commend white people for going against, quote unquote, their own people, quote unquote, because and this one is white. She said, as a white South African, Afriforum does not represent me, my interests, values, or beliefs. I wholeheartedly denounce these grifters and strongly believe they should retract their misinformation, disband, and some sort of legal action for high treason as the result of requesting. You see, I like this. This makes me so happy because it shows that we are indeed a rainbow nation and we are resilient enough to know which actions to take, and we go beyond the skin color and call out the people whose actions are working against the progress of South Africa. So I really enjoy reading this post and watching those videos, especially those videos from white people. I really enjoyed them. Reddy said, we must never allow Afriforum and Magalite SA to have our hate. Never. There are a lot of white South Africans who reject their politics and lies. We must not allow them to turn us into enemies, and they are not as connected as they think. Trump will soon move on and forget them, Danko. And this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This post from X that I'm reading is from various South Africans. I'm trying to show you that the rainbow and all the colors came out beaming, for the defense of our own country against those selfish people pushing their own things for their own benefit at the expense of our country. And Natasha Harkfield posted, Afriforum does not speak for all white people. Yeah, I could just kiss everyone right now. Yo, South Africans, it's good to be a South African. We are a happy nation. People must not mess up with us, shame. And this is a South African artist, Shoma Josie. It's going to be interesting for you to realize that, Shoma Josie has always been that child that defends South Africa with all that she has. She said, I cannot wait for the moment it dawns on Afriforum how much they messed up. Do they not see that they are just being used by Elon to attack our government for, I think because the screen is not clear, Elon Musk has got that beef of his company thingy, Starlink, that he wants to do it his way. And South African government says, no, this way. She continued to post, do they not see that they are just being used by Elon to attack our government for not allowing his Starlink to operate unregulated here, and by Trump, who just wants to destroy BRICS and exactly bonus make his Israeli friends happy. So yay. But both of these agendas are catastrophic for the white South African business class because they still own this whole economy. Yeah. And this one says, updates, Afriforum must be charged. This is somebody also, and I think this person is not white. Afriforum must be charged with treason. It's a group of unrepentant racist whites. Yeah, boo. Yes, this I totally agree with. There's a video clip also that I saw that I missed bringing here. The disastrous effect of the actions of Afriforum already being felt at the JSE. And anyway, guys, if you watched up to here, thank you for watching my videos. This is South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought to you. As usual, please kindly share your comments in the comment section. If time allows, I'm going to be reading a few and responding or even reacting. But if time doesn't, please pardon me in advance.